There you go.
No. Notification cleared. All right. Call this meeting to order, September board meeting for Readers of the Web. We have present Alfred Silverstar, Ella Silverstar, Ella Hayes. Sorry, we're legal names.
Well, legal name is Daniela Hayes, actually.
Solon Orange Lansberg, Bill Ale, Amanda Strantz, and Heather Woods. We also have one guest, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Barb Stinger with the MEC board.
All right. Before we get started, can we have our treasury report?
Treasury report. Current balance right now is $3,869.49. For the month of August, we had income of $1,665.40. Expenses of $43.96.33. So we ended the month at $42.86.39.
What were those expenses? I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah.
$4,396.33. Sorry if I'm going too fast. End of the month balance for the statement from the bank was $4,286.39. Tithes out for August. Mother Church, we have a balance of $54.29 due. And to the charity, the other charity, $83.27. They would have been equal amounts, but we paid $29 for Linode, which is hosting for the database for the museum of the church. That's part of our tithes.
It was 82.23 for the charity.
$83.27.
I don't know where I got those numbers. That's why I'm checking.
You're transposed them. That's fine. That is all business I have right now. I will get the tithes mailed out, done out this evening after I am done. We're done with this meeting.
What were the expenses this month? This was not a normal month of expenses?
We paid for insurance for the year. We also, and we had our regular rent payments that were due, the $500 and the $275 for the property. And we did have to purchase some things to get our building up to level for the insurance policy. We had to purchase a couple new exit signs and a couple smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors.
The tithe that was paid out in August.
Oh, yes, we also paid out tithe in August as well from first of the year until
That's a large. chunk of why
July.
it was so high.
That's why it was so high, because that large chunk of tithe that went out, because I didn't realize it wasn't automatically pulled out, so.
So you mentioned the current balance and the end balance. Those are two separate numbers though, right?
What?
The current balance and the end balance of August. So that was
At the beginning of August, when our,
uh-huh.
or at the end of August, when our bank statement was cut, we had $4,286.39
Okay.
in there. Current balance right now in the checkbook is $3,869.49.
Okay. I just make sure I had the right. Thank you.
Not a problem. Appreciate the double checking. Also, Ella, if you ever need to see these numbers, there is a spreadsheet in the finance drive.
See if I can get it done here though. I don't have to later.
But I'm just letting you know there is a spreadsheet that has some of these
Okay.
numbers.
No, that's good.
has
Thank you.
has the income and the tithe stuff in there. I'm going to be getting a balance sheet done for the month. I'm still developing that, and then we'll have that, and I can actually hand it out. We each have a copy of it if we want it.
Okay.
Any questions?
Comments, concerns, quandaries?
Discussion? Going once, going twice.
The insurance got paid, right? So have we gotten the return, like their thing saying officially we are insured now?
I mean, officially we were insured. They were threatening to pull it if we didn't fill out those things.
I got you.
And the insurance broker approved the repairs. The inspection, there's like 4 layers in here. The inspection company has acknowledged receipt of our response to their
Mhm.
issues, not heard back from the actual underwriter.
Okay.
That would be the final thing.
Okay.
But we've done what we can on this end.
Sure.
I also did hear back from the landlord today, asking for a copy of the underwriter or the inspection response, so that they can address the lighting issues.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, the emergency floodlight.
Yeah.
Thing, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
so good for now. Any other questions?
I don't know if it has to pertain to the topic we're talking about, but have we heard back about the filter? Access to
Nope,
change our
nope,
monthly
nope.
filter? Okay,
Still hasn't responded to that one, and I think I'm due to send him another poke about it this week.
Okay,
So, yeah,
I have nothing further.
probably need to show that officially Megan Norton's here.
Oh, yeah, I've had it.
Okay.
I've also put the official record of your name change in here as well.
Okay,
I didn't know if we
Cool.
need to speak that verbally or not, but it's here, so.
okay. Moving right along, then next up,
So on our list, do we want to go ahead and go with convocation? Or do we want to do that later?
Let's do it now.
Let's do it.
good,
All right.
that's the monsters.
Okay. So, I want to thank you guys very, very, very much because one, I come from much bigger nonprofit organizations, so that's what I brought to the table with MEC, and I tried my best to work the pricing and tried everything, but again, I was very unaware of what the community usually expects. And this is a new wheel. So your feedback actually helped me like tremendously. So I'm thankful for that. And that's why I wanted to come personally and talk to you guys face to face, because I'm so thankful for that feedback because it helped me reroute everythye So instead,
Just to
go ahead.
clarify, before you continue, sorry,
Yep.
Barb, is anybody unclear about what's going on here, why Barb is here?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So we talked last meeting about whether or not we wanted to do a sponsorship for convocation this year. We did a whole suite last year, we did the charity thing.
Mhm.
This is a whole new arrangement and different stuff. And we were leaning towards yes, but we were operating under misconceptions when we made that judgment. And so I'm glad we also chose to wait on it and sit on it for a month.
Definitely.
So I went through, I had a text list of the sponsorship benefits that Barb had sent to Castle.
Yep.
And I put those into one spreadsheet. And then right next to it, I went to the actual sponsorship form that you can get to from the MEC web or the convocation
Yes.
website.
Mhm.
And I made a spreadsheet with those. The two lists did not match.
Yes.
And they were
Because
also
one was not
extremely
updated.
inconsistent and extremely vague.
Mhm.
And so the tangible, quantifiable benefits versus what we would be spending for them were completely out of whack.
Yep. So
So
now,
that is why I was going to recommend against doing it at this time,
Mhm.
without having more certainty behind it.
right.
So Barb took that to the MEC board meeting. They had theirs yesterday.
We had ours Thursday, but unfortunately it didn't get on the docket. So this was like, we had to kind of work separately offshoot from our meeting to get this done in time for your meeting.
Well, we
So,
appreciate that.
yes,
All right, so Barb has handed me a very
detailed list.
well
Yes.
for aging eyes.
You want these, you want my cheaters?
No. I have such high power on these. All I gotta
Yep.
do is move them. It's like a magnifying.
So this list is a lot more detailed, and it breaks it down a little bit clearer for you. And the pricing has extremely changed because with the new hotel contract, we were able to reduce the pricing extremely. So our old suites ran about 1,400, I think, right around there. And now they are at 800.
Ooh.
Okay,
So
good
that's
to know.
why I had to run the numbers. Everything had to be reworked with the new hotel contract. So this is how we're doing it now. It will be an a la carte menu, and the tiered level is going to be what you spend per dollar instead of doing it in one package, because nobody really seemed to understand the packages. And like I said, there was a lot of confusion there. I think this is much clearer for the whole community. It's what do you want? This is the price, put it down. And then how much you spend will put you into a tier. So that way, when you're listed in the book, it'll say, seeker sponsor or an awakening sponsor, and then the names will be listed from there. So like I said, looked it over. I did bring you guys some flyers too. So that's part of the packet also.
Awesome.
And so you guys have that too.
In the motion. Or task on there.
And it was rushed. So if anything's misspelled, you guys have a place.
Okay, so basically you've got every single item on here. You said this is all a la carte.
Yep.
So,
So you can make your own package.
all right, is there a point to having registration passes on here at all?
Like I said, if there's really no point, honestly, before it was included into the package, so everybody was getting so many registration. But if you do want it like listed for a sponsorship, that would be included, like you could list it and get it all together.
So basically, if none of us were teaching, we're all waiting to
Right.
register because we're
Yeah.
teaching. If none of
Mhm.
us were teaching and we chose instead to have the board buy all of the tickets as the sponsorship and we
Yes.
paid the board back, then it would
Yes.
show up as a higher sponsorship level.
Yes, and two,
Propaganda.
I know. I'm sorry, total marketing brain, but
I mean, we can get to legacy level just on tickets.
Yeah. But the good part about, about doing it that way was that organizations such as yourself, you could pay for your board and then use that as a tax. Right off our tax deduction.
Make it a business
if it's a
trip.
business trip, right? And so
It
that's
is?
why it's offered that way. You know what I
It
mean?
is, but it's kind of not.
It is common practice. It is very common practice.
Sorry, I
in
can
like
major
every
business
field.
mind.
I have a friend whose spouse is a Presbyterian minister who has gone on things like Spring Mysteries and trips to different festivals, or what we would consider festivals
Mhm,
on the church's dime or on grants even.
mhm.
So it's getting grants for festival travel is something to be percolating in the back of the minds, because I want a grant writer. Anyway.
Right.
May I take a look at that so I can take a picture of it real quick?
Yeah. Yep. Can you share that?
And I will
Yes,
be
that's what I was
sending
about
it
to
to
do.
him in email in an
Okay,
email
perfect.
form. I just wanted to make
Thank you.
sure.
Let me
Yep.
get to seminary and then I'll take a grant writing class.
I'm taking phone scans
All right.
and I'm gonna put them in our information here.
Thank you.
I'm just old enough. I still don't fully trust those, even though I'm using them. I don't trust them. I saw the birth of OCR. I don't trust it.
Right. So like you said, yeah, all the pricing has changed. I think you guys will like the pricing better.
will.
But
Yeah.
that's part of the good part of the new hotel switch. So
Ella, can you pop that into the drive? real quick?
That's what I'm working.
and
on.
that's
Thank you.
also why you were seeing kind of separate two different things, because we were trying to work it and then it's like, oh, we're switching hotels. Oh, okay, like everybody freeze. And so the sponsorship levels kind of got frozen like halfway in the middle of me working it.
Gotcha. That's frustrating.
But that's okay. We got through it. And
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't expect somebody to be screenshotting what I was posting and sending it to the board there, because I didn't think anybody would be paying attention. I hope that I did not freak you guys out too much, because
Well,
my
yeah, I just-
intention was just to wait until the dust settled and it made sense.
yeah.
Not
yeah.
to say, oh my God, we hate Con and we're not going back, or anything like that. You can't keep us away.
But we know
Well, that's
there are
good to hear.
people in the community that do respond that way, and if you have a question, I
Mhm.
almost guarantee other people are also questioning it, but not willing to come forward.
That's why I
So the whole
appreciate it.
Community service.
You exactly. Thank you. So that's why I appreciate it. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, hold on, just give me a few more days.
Well, yeah, it was kind of weird waking up that one morning, the day we talked, Friday, Saturday, something like that. Saturday,
Mhm.
When I woke up and my phone's blowing up, it's like, what the hell? I'm sleepy.
I'm gonna go through this out loud real quick.
That's
For the benefit of those who are in here and can't physically look at it, also for the recording and YouTube. So the registration passes as $100, same as the website registration.
Mhm.
Reserved seating
Mhm.
for opening and closing ceremonies is listed as $20. How many chairs does that include?
All right, so that's only one, and that was something that we're still tossing around a little. We're not exactly for sure how we're going to work that yet. So we're still kind of filling or figuring out the logistics of that one. Originally it was part of the big sponsorship package that we had. And so, like you said, when I was breaking everything down.
I gotta figure out how does that work? Does that work? See, I think some of this could have been in the packages like that if it was more clear what that sort of thing might be worth.
Mhm.
And more specifics, because I know one of the things, it's a general advertising throughout the event, and there was like, what does that mean? I don't know.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
in fact, it's still on there, so I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So that's $20 per chair, but that's under discussion.
Mhm.
And then I have to be honest, I foresee a half a dozen organizations reserving a seat for Oberon without talking to each other for.
Yeah,
Well, he's already got a reserved seat because he's a featured presenter or guest of honor.
$2 for a program book acknowledgement, and that I presume is just in a list of these organizations. Thank you for your support.
Yep. So it's gonna be like a list and it'll say secret level sponsors, and it'll be a list of names.
All right, so then we have social media ad posting is listed at $20
Mhm.
for logo placement on website and social media advertisements for a year, January to January. What exactly does that mean?
All right, so we have a sponsorship page where the sponsors are listed and their logos are up. That'll stay from January to January.
Okay,
Okay. We're also going to hit our social media, our Facebook. And if you guys are willing to do a TikTok video for us, we will post it on our page. So we want you guys to get benefits from this also. This is really a community effort, and I've been trying to really push that yes, I understand marketing and people think, oh, well, big business. No, it actually can help our community as a whole. I want to get you guys as much exposure as what you're helping us with that sponsorship level.
so that would be basically our logo on a page with a whole bunch of logos.
Yep.
To be periodically posted on social media and
Mhm.
also on the website.
Yep.
Okay.
So it'll be on you'll have your own ad. So what I ask is I say, go ahead and do up like a paper size ad, send it to me in email, and then I'll post that onto Facebook.
Okay, so
Do you
it'll
see
be
what I
just
mean?
us.
It'll be
Okay.
just you, but your logo will be on a logo page with everybody
That
who
makes sense.
sponsored us.
and those
Mhm.
question, the logos on the page, on the webpage, are those going to be a clickable link?
And of course, I don't
I would
have
be
my
really
web person
surprised
here
if
to
they-
ask that.
It's about a 30 to not even a 30, like 5-second task to do it. So I'd
Okay.
be surprised.
Yeah,
So
just another thought process, because if it's a clickable link, if I'm at home
Mhm.
looking on the website and I was like, oh, I really like the stuff this person had, the sponsor had, they were a vendor, they sponsored, and it's, ooh, let's go click and check out their web store.
Okay.
That's just a thought process.
So let me start notes because that can be a
Yeah.
question.
You want a
that
piece
I-
of paper?
Also,
I've got
a
notepad.
question if, for someone more aware about screen readers, if
Mhm.
someone is surfing the web with a screen reader and it's a clickable link, will the screen reader read out loud that it's a clickable link?
Yes.
So that will also add accessibility features to their website.
Mhm.
And then $100 is logo placement on event signage. which I assume that's just gonna be like the big banners and things like that. It'll have a little logo.
That and like the general advertising throughout the event would be like on the cages and on different places throughout the event. So that might be your, like I said, your sheet ad that you turn into me. It might be that, you know what I mean? Hold on. So this is, or what was, okay, is the link. Sorry. Is
The
the
logo a
link.
clickable link?
Okay, is the logo a click? Thank you.
I got those on the drive, by the way. I don't know if you were able.
Yeah, I can see them.
And like you said, these are things that we haven't really offered before. So, you know, a lot of it is going to be, okay, how are we? And that's another reason why some stuff was, vague, as you said, was because we have to figure out how we're going to work all the
I've
logistics.
already got some interesting possibilities percolating, but I want to get through
Mhm.
this. And then advertising during opening, closing, we saw that last year, that's listed as 60. Sponsorship of a program room, which means your name and logo will be hung outside or inside one of our lecture rooms with a thank you for your sponsorship of that room. The neurodivergent room and the Chalice Well room are small rooms to
Can we
sponsor.
choose which room we sponsor?
Can we choose that?
Yes.
Because I would love to sponsor the neurodivergent
I
room.
Thank you
I thought that too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like that idea. too.
That's a small room. So there's 3 different levels of room sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the small rooms, and then the
Now-
medium room is 300. Same thing, name and logo hung outside or inside with a
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
So a medium room, so when I'm saying small rooms, I should have brought a hotel map.
That's okay. It's okay.
But there,
It's all right.
there's smaller rooms that we
Small room,
have.
like our rooms here.
Yeah, because so the neurodivergent room isn't going to be in a suite anymore. It's going to be a small room, right down on, in the area, but it's a little offshoot.
Mhm.
So it's
Kinda
still
like the
a
hospitality
quiet
suite
area.
was.
But the good part is if somebody's having an anxiety attack, they no longer have to go back
Right.
over
Up
to
to the elevator.
they
and
are
all
just
that,
gonna have
yeah.
to do a short skip to a
Good.
quiet area. Okay.
That was my
Um,
next.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and then
so
the large room sponsorship is
Mhm.
500.
Mhm.
And then is the large room sponsorship, I assume that's gonna be like the main ballroom.
yeah, so
think.
that is not going to be the main ballroom, but it is going to be our lecture hall, which is, by the way, huge. It'll be our lecture hall. So this is set up like if you were at U of M and it's
A tiered lecture hall.
and it's huge. So we have quite a few larger rooms. I think 4 very large rooms, and then but where we're going to have our opening, closing, and I think masquerade ball is going to be, we've been calling it the Crystal Palace, but I don't really know what the name of it is, but it's a big outdoor, so it's actually separate from the hotel, and it all has glass windows and it overlooks a lake, well, a river. Mhm. So
Getting fancy up in here.
yep. So that one's a different room.
All right, and so going down the list, we have $25 for a program room sponsorship table. So this would be in addition to sponsoring the room, then you get a table to put things on inside the room.
So that comes in handy for people who want to advertise like their business stuff, like,
Right.
if you want
Put
to
out
show candles
flyers.
that you made for here, or flyers, that sort of thing.
Main event sponsorship is 800, and that would be like the masquerade opening ceremony, closing ceremony, a banner, a full banner thanking this year's sponsor hung up, and a special thank you. Are you buying that banner or are we?
We would be buying the banner, but we would be asking you to make the artwork only because people are specific.
Oh,
about
yeah.
their artwork.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Then we have the ad sponsorships, which are just the same as the previously, runs from $25 for a business card sized ad up to $200 for a full page ad, or $300 to get the back cover. And then as
Which is
she
only
said-
one available of, by the way.
Like what?
as she said, suite sponsorship is going to be 800. There are only 3 available, but that would be exactly the same situation then that we had before. And when I say exactly the same situation, I'm promising exactly the same situation.
Mm.
Okay.
Unless somebody else wants to take the adjacent.
No, I think that adjacent belongs to you and Brian, so.
Mhm.
And then.
like we do every year.
So in
Uh,
this
so
case,
hang on, so this last one says, we are giving a welcome basket for all guests of honor and featured presenters,
Mhm.
so a total of 20 baskets. You're welcome to donate products, advertisements, or snacks to this, and that's free, just
well,
putting
well,
things
it-
in.
It's free because you guys are.
Well, yeah, just putting
Yep.
things in, but
But
it's-
it's an advertisement boost for your business and your company, and some people might want to do that because these are all people who are coming from out of town, out of state, who might like your product and might advertise for you also. So I thought that we should offer it for you guys.
just to be clear,
Mhm.
this is Weavers of the Web, it is not Keystone Manifestation.
Okay, well, I know that
Two
there's.
separate entities.
Okay, so, but,
Vegas
and
is
that's
a
what I'm
separate
saying, I
one, too.
wasn't, I know that you had told me, yeah, Pagan Pantry, and I'm going, okay, I don't know which one of them are sponsoring, so I'm just going.
Yeah, likely all of us will end up sponsoring, but right now you're talking to the Weavers Board.
Okay, that's fine.
Products aren't in it, really.
That's fine.
The board doesn't have any products. Pantry has one product, and I'm sorry, I'm not
I
giving
don't know,
up.
do the t-shirts count as a product?
They technically they do.
Mhm.
All right, so basically that's it.
Mhm.
So, all right, have at it, open
Okay.
discussion.
So I want to say that because we are talking to the Weavers of the Web Board, and now I know exactly. So you guys could put your advertisement for that, like even just a little handout, just to let people know who you are.
Like
And let them know that you supported this event. So like you said, the thing is that we're getting bigger. The new place allows us a lot more room to grow. So the bigger we get, the more, hopefully, the more featured presenters and guests of honor we have. And as that comes in, well, we want our community to benefit also, clearly. We want them to be able to meet these people and let them know who you are. So that was an extra thought to try to help that connection along. So yeah, you guys can simply do brochures if you want, just to let them know that this is what we do here in Michigan. This is who we are, right? So, but yeah, any other questions for me?
So the TikTok, is it have to be like a TikTok length one, or could we plug in our video that we already have made?
TikTok has 10-minute length featured.
Yeah, they now.
they do now. But you have to have so many followers
The
to
other
get
thing
that.
that I was
Yeah.
thinking though
I
is
think
that
ours is like
probably not our entire video, but whatever length they're willing to have of
Mhm.
our video could
Did
be
you
put into opening or closing, either one.
did you see the one that Maura did for the event?
I did not yet.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. We'll have you guys watch this.
I have actually seen it. I like it. It was really good.
And so that, like you said, we're trying to amp our advertising for the event also. So you guys could do something cute like that together. Just, they're usually short video clips and
Well, I have a 30-second piece that I've already put together that I run in the store. All it would need would be an additional B-track soundtrack
A B-roll.
to
Yeah.
smooth it out, but the video wise, it's already done.
Yeah.
Um,
So are the one that TC put together, the full length is 6 minutes and
Yeah.
32 seconds?
Yeah. so I have, like I said, I have one that it's either 15 or 30 seconds. I think it's 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Because I think that's what the
Mhm.
atmosphere allows you to do.
Well, it allows me to do either 15 or 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's short enough for TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
Any
Yeah.
other questions? We lost Alfred. Where'd Alfred go?
I think you want pee.
Bio break.
There is arm right there.
No,
there he is.
I guess he didn't go pee.
All right, well, if nobody else has anything, I am going to throw out that at this point, I highly recommend, not only recommend that we sponsor a sweep, but that we do it like tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We
Well,
want
first
that
off,
sweet.
The rest maybe
That's-
we'll discuss and vote on next
Well,
month, but
Here's what I was thinking, because we normally spend $1,400 on a suite.
Mhm.
Right, we don't have
Right.
to spend that much.
We don't have to
though.
spend that much, but that also gives us, we can get a suite and then take that other $600 we're normally planning on spending and putting it on other things, on these other advertisements and stuff like that. So I am 100% down with that.
So this is what I'm hearing and I like this. So what I'm gonna do is make a motion now. I move that we do the sponsorship of the suite for 800. We do the sponsorship of a small program room, be it the neurodivergent room for 150. And I think that we also do a half a page ad for the church at 150.
Okay, so at this point, and so you guys have some time in case you want to add something else. I will work on a contract, then I have to submit it to the MEC board. And then when they approve it, then I send it back to you guys for your approval and signatures.
Okay,
Makes sense?
So what you did came out to 1,100. We have 300 more that we could do if we're planning to do the 1,400 that we did last year.
if that's what we're planning on doing, guys, that's entirely up to you guys.
I would hesitate to just right off the bat say we want to do that much. Because last year we also had the raffle,
Mhm.
and so
I'm okay
we
with
had stuff
stopping at
coming back.
1100.
But on the flip side of that, if we were in the same location this year, we were determined to get a suite again, and that by itself was going to be the 1,400.
Right.
Mhm.
Right,
Um,
but this is I'm playing conservative with it. We're putting some money back out into the community
This is true.
and we reaped that threefold.
We're supporting what is kind of for us our flagship event. This con is to us what Spring Mysteries is to the Mother Church.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is our flagship event. I think putting the 1,100, that's a conservative amount to put out. Because all of us that stay in the suite usually dump money back into the suite anyway,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get
Which-
some of that back.
I want to ask about that. In this case, normally we have an adjoining room
Mhm.
that Solenox
Spot,
and their partner have.
here's what it says for sponsorship of the suite.
Mhm.
Sponsorship of the suite, this price includes a suite and an adjoining sleeping area.
Mhm.
You will be hosting this hospitality suite. You can open it up for giveaways, meet and greets, parties, and social gathering. Rules do apply. Our suites have adjoining bedrooms, only 3 available.
Right. So what I'm, from my understanding is that's the suite and then the bedroom that's part of the hotel room.
Yeah, it's the suite and the bedroom is off the side of the suite. So there's a door that you can
Yes,
close
yes.
off
That-
your
But that's
bedroom
normally
area.
what we stay in. And
Okay.
then
There-
Let me do this.
Okay.
All right. So this is the situation we had last year. We had living room, adjoined bedroom, has a door, right? And then this is a separate hotel room that has a
Yes.
connecting door.
yes,
This is what we got last year.
yes.
Mhm.
Is okay.
Now, so let me see,
3
I'm
separate
pretty
rooms.
sure I might still have pictures in my text from Laura. So I can show you. So let me scroll. Sorry. This may take a moment. We text a lot. So.
Comes with the territory, right?
Mhm. Mhm, mhm.
Now, normally when we do that, it's that 1,400 for all 3 of
That was
those.
for all 3 rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what, am I gonna be able to click on it? Okay, so that's the bedroom part,
Mhm,
okay?
mhm.
Their rooms are bigger. And that's the suite part.
See, and that's what my understanding is. I think in this
Okay,
case, for
but
the
not
800,
the third
we don't
No.
get the
room
third
that's it
bedroom.
in.
No.
Okay.
That's what
okay.
I was wanting to
Mhm.
clarify. So
That's important.
we have technically already booked a room.
We have
Right.
to, I've booked our room, yeah.
So we have a room. I wanted to clarify, this would be the suite room, the room that's off the suite would belong to Solenox and their partner, correct?
Okay, so we're not talking about the same situation that we had last year.
Correct, correct.
So
And that's what I mean, is because normally, the way we do it normally is whoever's in the, when we have the suite, we have like, people get first pick, certain people get first pick or whatever, based on, rank and all that, to the bed and then to the extra beds we get and all that shit, right? So that's what we normally do. that obviously would change in this scenario.
Right.
Mhm.
So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page there. And we're good with that.
So that's why I think we might want to stop at suite for
Yes.
now.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Maybe add, I would really like to do the neurodivergent room and the slideshow ad, but we can talk about that down the road.
Mhm.
But if we do the suite now, then we get it, because there's only 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure.
Well,
we
there's
get-
only 3.
Now this, I don't remember what was on that paper. What does it say for the slideshow? Can you tell me? Because some of that changed.
Advertising during the opening and closing ceremony, add business to slideshow.
Okay, yep, I didn't take off the slideshow part. So, we don't have that capability at this hotel.
No slideshow.
So what it will be is it'll be more of like a public announcement and round of applause. And
Gotcha.
yeah, we had to adjust that. But there will be, hopefully, if we can make this work, there will be a slideshow playing on a TV screen near the information desk. So we're still trying to work out some of the logistics. I'm sorry.
So
Megan's had her
basi-
hand up.
Yeah, go,
So for the same reason why we want to make the decision to do the suite, I think we should make the decision to do the neurodivergent room and then put all further up to discussion for next time, because these are time sensitive, where we advertise that there's no
Mhm.
limit
Yes.
to that, and we can add that on in a month.
correct.
Mhm.
Also, it might be requiring a phone call to the hotel to see if they have adjoining rooms that attach to the suites.
I can ask, I know that our hotel liaison had checked out the suites pretty good, so I'm sure he can tell me.
Okay.
But
That goes on the list for questions.
I agree with Megan that, because if we want to, particularly we want to sponsor the neurodivergent room, we probably should jump on it before somebody else does.
Yeah,
Yes.
And that's sweet, and I think
I
that,
think that's important to us
Yes.
as far as who we are.
Mhm.
Room next to the suite is what we
Yes.
want to ask, right?
Yeah, and
It's
not,
It's an it'd be an adjoining room, not the suite.
There isn't an adjoining room, but there possibly
But if
is a
there-
room
if
right
there-
next door.
If there's one right next door, even if it doesn't have a connecting door, that would put, I would say, let's put mine and Brian's reservation there.
Yeah.
right,
And that would free up the bedroom suite again
For-
for people who need it. Or
right,
if you want to give up yours or whatever.
right, because that,
Mhm.
last year with what we did is we had the suite and had that adjoining room.
Mhm.
They were in the adjoining room, Ellen and I were in the suite most, and then we had
Yeah, we're
Other
in the
suite.
suite bedroom.
Mhm.
We were in the connecting room
the
next door.
connecting room
And-
next door.
And so also we have talked to about with the suite, if you guys give us a list of times and events beforehand, we can make sure that that is in the program book.
Oh,
listed.
sweet.
Okay. I'm not sure if it'll be on the schedule listing or if it'll be on a separate page, but we will have it listed.
Oh, that's a good idea,
Mhm.
so that when we want to do a meet and greet or something like
Mhm.
that. that's
Yes,
great.
that it would be,
Like what I heard about the
So,
pagan room and
what we're trying to encourage,
Parliament.
yeah,
Parliament.
what we're trying to encourage is in California, when I had went to the California convention, they had a whole floor of suites that were just suites that people could rent, and different covens would rent them out. And in the evening times after programming was done, you could suite hop and meet people. Now, if you choose to serve alcoholic beverages in your room, you have to check IDs, however, because we still have to follow Michigan state laws, right? But like he said, you can hold like, we're having Yahtzee night, or we're having divination night, or we're doing, tarot bar, or we're- and so, but like I said, you can give us a list of things that you want to do, activities you want to do. Even if you guys, are into like Dungeons and Dragons, you can have a Dungeon and Dragon night, right? That's completely up to you. And so, but like I said, we can list them. What we're trying to get is it open to the public more, and the face of the public more, so people have things they can do,
Mhm.
extra things.
I like it.
All right, so let's call point to order, motion on the table.
Hang on. Do we have any other questions or comments that need to be heard tonight? Okay,
call point to order to the motion on the table to sponsor the $1,100. Do we want to reduce that? Do we want to change that? How do we want to handle this before we go further?
I'm okay with doing 800, the 150 immediately,
So 950
950,
total.
and then we can discuss the
suite
other
in the
part later.
Neurodivergent room.
All right, so I make an amendment to my motion on the table that we
What's the
now,
formal?
so that we now are going to be doing a suite sponsorship at $800. And the neurodivergent room, which is a small programming sponsorship, a small room. Program room sponsorship of $150, totaling $950.
Seconded.
Do we have a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome.
One suite, one neurodivergent room covered.
Awesome. If you guys have any more questions for me, like you said throughout, just I will email you all this information.
When you mail that contract, mail it to board@Weavers of the Web, please.
Okay.
That way, everybody on the board gets a copy of it. They can
Yep.
see that. copy.
Hold on, I'm gonna put
Correct.
that in my notes for you guys too.
That is, it's easier that way because if it comes to me and I don't see it for a few days, it sits. If we throw it to the board.
Give it to everybody, somebody will poke somebody eventually.
Right, we all see it that way, okay?
All right. Okay, board it. I spelled that wrong. Okay, so board at weaversoftheweb.com, right?
.org.
Org. Okay. Do you guys have any further questions for me?
I don't think so.
All right.
Not at this
You guys
time.
have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much for coming.
Love you guys. You have a great
Appreciate
night.
you.
Thank you.
And say.
Hopefully I will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Barb. Thank you.
Here's going too fast.
Tell me about it.
All right.
All righty.
So I'm feeling much better about the whole
Yes.
convocation situation.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Yes, I am too. I'm very happy with this. We actually have price points that we can see what it's worth now.
And now we can offer the sweet sleeping.
Yay, yay.
Yeah, and that's important because we have some members that can't afford to go out and spend though.
So that's gonna be an interesting thing we could discuss later, but like, are we gonna keep our room or are we
We
gonna?
will discuss that
Yeah,
later.
we'll talk about it later. Let's
Not here
get,
now.
we wanna see floor plans with measurements so that we can get a real feel for, how many are gonna sleep in there and what we wanna do with it, because it's not gonna be this room configuration that we've been in for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
But just FYI, if I'm interpreting the tiers correctly, our two things automatically puts us at the elder level.
$50 more, we're at legacy, so I think we're gonna be at legacy no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is where we belong.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We next on the agenda, the next thing I have is the legal stuff for Disney films, but we can always skip that and come back to that later if you
Yeah,
want to
we
do
can come
that.
back
Okay.
later.
Accessibility? You mentioned accessibility earlier.
So this was something that I had down as just a food for thought thing for last month that we didn't really get around to talking about. Or did I discuss it at all?
I think you talked about it a little bit.
That sign language is not as expensive as we thought.
It's not as expensive as we thought. We might be able to get a live interpreter for as little as $35 a meeting. If I'm remembering correctly what I saw already. Is that something that we want to think about looking into? There has not been a need yet. So we could either anticipate the need by providing it when we don't know if anybody out there needs it, which is ideal, but costs money.
Mhm.
Or we can contact and line up somebody who is willing to be on call.
Which might cost
And if
more.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know if somebody would be willing to do that, or if they would want us to have
So
a retainer
30
fee or something like that.
$35 a meeting, then ends up being an additional expense of $140 a month.
Yeah,
What meetings are we, that's my question. What meetings are we talking about? Are we talking about this board meeting or are we talking about the Wednesday night
it
meeting?
would be for everything that we do. I want it
So
to
it'd be more
accessible.
than that then, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be almost, well. We got on average 4 Wednesdays a month.
Mhm.
A ritual
Mhm.
on a board meeting.
at a board meeting. That's 7 items in 1 month. Times $35, that's
210.
$210.
So it's a lot of money. We need into our
It's-
fundraising significantly.
Yes,
Or we can see if somebody is willing to be on reserve.
I think having, talking to somebody about availability and stuff like that, and like how, like, at least finding out what kind of time frame they need to request their services if we suddenly discover that we're gonna have a need for it.
But-
I don't think that we'd be able to, oh, hey, it's Wednesday night, oh no, we have a deaf person, let's call them real quick. I don't think we'd be able to get away with that.
No, probably not.
But-
No, but if we reach out to an interpreter and find out what time of, like, what kind of lead time they would need, we could put it on all of our events that interpreters can be made available with X amount of
I like
notice.
I like that.
Megan?
got me.
Another thought is have the interpreter for basically just ritual, some of our bigger, like, connection, that's not the right word I'm looking for.
Or
Bigger
Bigger
attendance.
attendance, more people,
More,
more visibility.
yeah, more visibility, more likelihood that we'll run into somebody who needs the need, who doesn't know that we're here. With the goal to build up to every event.
Okay. This brings up something else. If this is something we're wanting to do, we really need to be pushing the Patreon page, guys. Our Patreon monies went down. Significantly went down, so we need to start pushing that again.
What's coming on the Patreon currently? I don't remember you mentioned. that.
Just a second, I can pull up what come in this last month. I have the statement right here. Patreon, $472.49.
Well, that's not the
That's not
deposit
right.
that was made this month. But,
This was the deposit that was made in August.
okay, does the one that came in September was 8 something, if I remember correctly. And our current patronage right now is at $987 per month.
Okay, so what happened with, where did all the extra money go?
They changed processing and started flagging people's cards.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, because Megan, I know Megan had a problem with it with paying for the pay.
That's what Mary was talking about, having a problem with it. And I couldn't understand what she was
Okay,
saying.
let me double check, because like,
Okay, so it said right here that 11/32/58 was added to our account on August 31st for September.
so maybe that was making up for some of it?
See, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why it shows Megan's is dropping off and coming back on
Okay.
in August, I guess,
Yeah.
is because of the processing problem.
Yep,
Okay, so that was a temporary issue, that was not a,
but they said,
But
they
Sorry.
said, how much did they say they put in our account for September or
For
for?
September, 11/32/58 has been added to your account balance. I don't know if that's what the transfer was.
No,
Um,
the transfer was $887.57 because they take out their damn fees. And the taxes.
well, right now, there's $695.49 in there. That will be coming out on October 1st in addition to. That was it, but yeah, that was $887.57 went out.
The 6th.
But to Castle's point, the amount attempted charged has been slowly decreasing since I think it was February or March. With the exception of July, we did have a little bump up and then went back down.
So we need to market the Patreon a little bit more too, because we've spent money to get the reward and those rewards, and we need to make sure that we're really pushing
Okay.
that. Just a thought process. Because we want to spend money, we need to be making money.
okay, so. Definitely, all right, pushing the Patreon, but, so with this concept of I like the idea if we're gonna do it of. If we're starting small, not jumping to like, hey, we're gonna pay somebody
For
You know,
every event.
for every event. I feel like that's but having the option of also having it mentioned that we can, get an interpreter upon request is if we can sort that out with an interpreter, make sure that they're okay with that. Because in freelance stuff like that, they're going to probably go towards the more guaranteed money than they are
Possible one.
the possible money.
Any other thoughts on accessibility in general?
I don't know if this is exactly directly related, but I know we talked about thinking of thinner. We talked about filling in those holes, which would
That would
affect,
be,
you know,
that would fall under accessibility because that's a safety hazard.
you know,
I can,
Ask Alfred, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
I don't think we can fill in the ruts that were down by the picnic tables if those are still there, but I'm sure we can fill in the stuff that's under the pavilion.
Not
Yeah.
without renting. There's a piece of machinery we could rent that would tamp it down.
Oh, where the ruts are?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's a little much. That-
Yeah,
you talk about the ruts that went like from the water hole down to the.
no, around the picnic table, the kids dug out moats and crap around the picnic tables.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember.
And I don't know how much those go, but like,
I think we just need to move, stay out of that area
Yeah.
if it's still there next time. We're gonna move the tables anyway because we want tables around. We want everybody to be around the fire and not all over, so.
We do have a bag of sand here at the store or in the church back here. They can go over to Fenner. It was in one of the tables. We didn't need to use both of them. We only put and we can always go pick up another couple bags of sand if we need to the day of.
Okay.
If that's what, it's cheap enough, we could do that if that's something that we want to do. for that.
Alfred, will that work well enough, do you think, for filling that area pavilion in?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've also got a tamper that we could use to help tamp it down, might make it last a little longer.
Okay,
Is that machinery or just a
Just
weight?
a hand tamper, just a
Okay.
big flat piece of metal on a handle.
yeah, it'd be better than not having one.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Oh. Good grief. Okay, what else we got? I'm just gonna put down, I'm gonna research interpreters. And nail down specific, and this will go as a church project too, because I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it. So if somebody wants it done sooner, they're gonna have to help. But I will have it down to. Look that up and nail down exactly what it would take to get somebody in here, exactly what it would cost, what are the options, how much lead time we would need to get that in motion, et cetera. And then at least we'll have more concrete information to go on.
Mhm.
I mean, perfect scenario would be somebody who comes to church that already knows sign language.
Right, right.
That would be a perfect scenario, but
I went to school with Dakota in high school, but I haven't had contact since high school, so.
Yeah, I took a class like
I took-
12, 13 years ago,
Yeah,
but I don't.
Certification is not I knew a deaf person.
Right,
It's a
right.
professional thing with certification.
Oh,
so-
absolutely.
So.
what's our next agenda item?
Oh, all right. So we're moving on. A driveway.
Right now, I believe all that needs to be done is somebody to call the. Well, no, actually, because I had asked you who the contractor was because I couldn't find that anywhere. And I think you had
Didn't
said
they
you didn't
send
get the document uploaded or
Didn't
something.
they send it? to
Or is it
you?
in the email? Is it an email? Did I look at email?
Hold on. I think I sent it on Facebook.
I have too many inboxes.
Oh. This brace gets in the way of using my phone.
Okay, yeah, so the email you sent me, I did get that, and I took the documents off of that and I put them into the drive. But I still don't know who exactly to call. You said you had a guy. And
I believe it was an H. I knew I sent it to you somewhere. Give me. Place to start.
we've got the brain dump for the property project, and then we've got the business links. There was Studio and Tree Architects, Ang Dot, and Kebs, and I don't know who does what.
Cabs does surveying.
Yeah, that was. Okay. Not looking at-
Excuse me.
What?
That Deed's in the waiting room,
Who was in the waiting room?
Andrew.
Oh.
Deadbeat.
Oh. You should be able to prove them, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can look, man.
Go ahead.
Fanny,
Hello,
that's what it is.
Cannon.
That's the place that the city recommends.
Okay. Did he recommend
They
What was the
recommend
name of it?
NH concrete,
Can H?
K.
And
K N H. I was like, wait, what? K N H concrete. Okay.
That's who the city official that I talked to about the process of getting the driveway permit without having an address. That's who plays the city game the best. Like they know all of the specs, they know all the rules, they follow all the rules. They're compliant with the city's.
then we try to need that.
All right.
And
Now we have it in the business links for property development document. So somebody just needs to call and get that ball rolling.
And one other thing, when I talked to that guy, he recommended. Taking the trees by the front out because they're gonna be in the way of where our driveway has to go.
So the ones that are right up next to the house.
I believe so, on the opposite side, because there's that pole.
Mm-hmm.
And we are only going to be able to put the driveway in
To the east of that pole.
to the east side of that pole.
So those trees,
Okay.
that tree that is falling down anyway.
So are the roots of that tree in the neighbor's property?
They are, but they're technically, it's on the property line and majority of it's in our property. Anything that's,
So
the way it works with trees in this state, if it comes over into your yard, you're allowed to trim it.
Yeah.
So, but if we're talking about fully taking it down,
That would be a negotiation.
that
with
would
that.
we would probably want to at least discuss it with the neighbor and explain what we're trying to do.
How much of it is on our,
It is right dead center, dead nuts in the middle of the property line.
Yeah, it's pretty much right on the line.
From what I understand the property line to be.
That's
Yeah.
for down the road. First, we need to get the driveway cut. And they're not even going to install a driveway officially, as far as I know, right? They're just gonna cut.
no, they're gonna cut it and we'd probably wanna at least put the apron to the street out.
Mhm.
To have them do that part, and then we are responsible for, making sure if the sidewalk gets damaged, we have to repair the sidewalk. So we may wanna consider doing the apron between the street and the sidewalk and maybe 2 or 3 feet past the sidewalk with concrete,
Mhm.
because that will be less than having to repair the sidewalk.
The sidewalks are expensive, trust me.
All right. And then the tree we can discuss when it becomes an issue.
Mhm.
This is step one. I want to be able to get on it. I want
Right.
to be able to take my car, I'm having a bad day, I want to go out to the church property and walk off and get lost in the woods.
Yes.
I hear you.
Um. That's the status on that.
All right.
Okay.
You got anything else?
No, it might not hurt to make contact with some of the other companies, because we know we're gonna have to have a site plan and a civil engineer report to apply for the land use permits.
Site plan, what was the other thing?
Civil, I believe it's the civil engineer that does the site plan.
But we can do the driveway part without
Yes, we
that.
can get the driveway part without a building permit, without anything else.
Okay.
But to move past being able, get the driveway, but then to keep moving forward on actually building on the property and making it useful for us. We need to start calling these companies, and I can't do phone calls really. Till I get a new phone.
Mm,
Oh, that's right.
Unless I'm on Wi-Fi,
that's right.
and the Wi-Fi has been unreliable. Wi-Fi calling keeps dropping calls,
Ugh.
so.
You said the site plan would come from the
Civil engineer.
surveying company,
Potentially,
or what are these other two companies, the studio architects? Studio Intrigue Architects,
they write, see it, this is the frustrating part, is nowhere in any of my research could I actually find the specific profession that does all the planning and blueprints and everything. And so those were my best guesses for businesses that could potentially, if they can't do what we need, they could point us to the right type of business
We-
that would do what we need.
We need a roadmap, basically,
Right,
of do
that's what-
this, then do this, then do this, and we don't have that.
right, and I've not been able to find that info anywhere on the interwebs of how to build a church on virgin property.
Obviously, it can be done because it's been done before,
Right,
so. Okay. Let me think here.
who was saying something about a church that started out with just a pavilion,
there's a church in Ludington. that-
Ludington?
Mhm. It's on Jabavi Road. So they started out with the pavilion, and one end of the pavilion has like a storage area. Potentially maybe bathrooms there, I don't know. But then after having church in the pavilion all summer long, they had raised enough money to put a double wide on the property, and their church is in a double wide trailer.
Somehow I doubt that would fly in the city of Lansing.
Yeah.
We need, what we need to find for people who would like
But-
to do research projects.
The pavilion fits the letters of the zoning code for being a building.
We'd have to find somebody who's willing to do it.
Mhm.
Well, that's a research point that's still open.
Okay, let's see. So we need to call the one people first, right? The K&H.
KNH.
KNH
is number
needs to
one.
be called and scheduled and done.
Okay.
If somebody
I-
else does it and you just need my signature for shit, let me know.
Okay, I am assigning that to me on motion.
All right.
So I've got that, I've got some time off coming up in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna spend some time fucking around with it. Oh, there we go.
Just-
Andrew's volunteering to do some research.
Oh, okay. Looking for contractors, just chimed in. I can do some research. Okay.
Was that Andrew?
Yeah, he says, I
Thank
can
you,
do some
Andrew.
research on churches on virgin land also. I know nothing about construction, but I'd love to help in any way I can. Awesome.
If you
Great,
could
appreciate it.
find, so the holy grail here would be if you could find another church that has started with virgin land and gotten to something that we could afford. Because what the city keeps telling us is that you can't do that, you can't do A without B, but you can't do B without A, basically. So if you can find that somebody else has done it and find what roadmap they used, that's a possibility.
But also remember, each county in the state has different rules and different ordinances.
That's why I said ideally, city of Lansing, somebody
Right.
in Lansing who has done what we are trying to do.
Okay. Just making sure that's put out there.
Yeah, it's gotta be in Lansing because it's the city of Lansing that we've got to deal with and they're the ones that are being rude.
All right.
I got it in my notes.
It's nothing coming face.
No, you do not have anything in your face.
Well, I mean, this.
That's kind of permanent. All right.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other comments on the property development? Questions, ideas?
Mhm.
Nope.
What's your next item on the agenda?
Wizard statue.
Oh, yes.
Wizard statue.
I know very little about this other than there's a wizard statue that that needs to have money donated to it to
So
get it. I don't know.
I will tell you what has happened. Penderkin, which is where Kinder went for a couple of years. For
It's
school.
Okay.
They have a wizard statue that stands about 6 foot tall, if not a little bit taller. It's beautiful. They are getting rid of it. They've contacted Solanox and asked if they wanted it. Solanox, of course, said yes, but they want a donation. And I've been kicking around an idea with Solanox, and the store would officially be purchasing this, but it would be in our space so that we would benefit from it as well. I suggest looking at it, it's
What I would actually recommend doing if you did this would be writing a check that would be handed to them with mine when I picked it up.
yes, absolutely. But what it's a used piece of equipment. It's not brand new. It's plastic or resin. It's hollow. And honestly, we looked online to see if we find some price comparisons. We didn't, what it would cost new. I know what Penderkin, what that school means to Solanox and their family. I've actually been to the school. I've seen what they do to help help children that are blind. I think it's an amazing program. I just think it sucks that it ages out at age 13. But they asked me, Solanox asked me what I think would be a fair price for it. I said 500.
Real quick, Andrew's asking if he'll be able to rewatch this as a Patreon. Will we be posting this to Patreon?
What did we decide last time? We talked about this.
Let's check last time's meetings.
We talked about YouTube.
Right.
Just
we
leaving them
didn't-
on YouTube.
That's right. I think and making them public on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
making them public on
They're
YouTube for
viewable.
transparency.
Yeah. So
Yeah, well, I mean, this live stream will stay on YouTube public unless we take it off. So it does
Right.
that by default.
yeah, but I think okay, that's fair. So we'll just leave it.
Yeah.
And okay, yes, you'll be able to find it on YouTube
On our channel.
on our channel. Yep.
So I suggested a $500 donation. And I think because it would also benefit us as a church, it gives us something kind of cool to brag about, that we've got a cool big.
A marker. People, hey, have you seen the wizard?
Yeah, we've got this great big wizard. It would be a place. What you got, Alan?
I was waving by. Didn't
Oh.
he?
Oh,
Okay.
hi, Andrew.
So it would be a way for us to kind of say, hey, check out what cool thing our church has got.
Mhm.
So what I would like to do is make a motion, the $83.27 that we have for our Trace charity, round it to $100 and write a check out to the school and give it to Solanox to take down when they pick this item up. And we as a church help purchase this because I think they've done great things for
Kinder specifically.
Gender specifically, and they do great things in the community of the state of Michigan for the blind, for the school for the blind.
Mhm.
So I move for a motion of $100 donation to Pendragon for the Wizard.
Second,
Is there any discussion on this before we go any further, guys?
I do have one thing. Is it up to $100 where we don't need the boards?
yeah, so I was gonna
vote?
say, I was actually gonna say after we voted, I was gonna say, if you did this for $99.99, you wouldn't have to get our approval.
It's called
But that's
transparency.
fair.
I mean, technically, the ties wouldn't need our approval to go somewhere else, but like you just said, transparency.
No,
Yeah,
transparency,
yeah.
yeah, yes, absolutely, I'm down with that. But yeah, $100 is the cutoff where it has to be approved by the board generally for
The
expenses.
reason I asked, the reason I say anything is because I don't know, it just, you know what, never mind. Answered my question. It's good.
But is there any other discussion besides what Heather had there?
Was to discuss, we're gonna have a giant wizard.
Well, we've got to do the things because it's right. It's the right thing to do. Alan, is there anybody watching this on YouTube?
There was one person watching. Said howdy, folks.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
So. We've made the motion, it's been seconded. Anybody want to I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Those abstaining?
Solon Knox is abstained.
Who is abstaining? Okay. Perfect.
So,
And this, the wizard statue is gonna stay in one place and not move around like Balder, right?
I don't know, I mean, we talked about.
Well,
wheels
I
on
feel
it.
like because of what it's made of and because it's possibly a little more fragile than Balder.
well,
We'll see.
we'll see, because we gotta
Get it
figure
in
out,
Here and see how it fits.
we gotta figure out where he's gonna go and all this fun stuff.
Speaking of things fitting, can we do the workday?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
we at
workday. Yeah,
We need to
workday is the
schedule a
next one.
workday. I feel like we need to make this an official event so people will actually show up and do it.
Absolutely.
So pick a date.
So would a Saturday or Sunday be easier for most people? Probably,
Probably, I'm gonna tell you this Saturday does not work,
obviously.
and next Saturday does not work.
Right, okay.
So we're up to
Um,
the 30th.
To the 30th. Do we want to do Saturday or do we want to do Sunday? Which days do you all know which one
I
is
don't,
better?
I don't care.
Sundays are generally quieter in here right now.
So that means fewer people probably. Okay.
Fewer people in our
Okay.
way when we're doing
So
stuff.
do we have anything on the 30th that would prevent us?
Not to my knowledge.
Then
Thought
let's
we
do
were saying we were doing Sunday.
Sunday, 30th is a Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, no, I thought we were saying Saturday.
But if we want to increase and allow other people to be here, let's do it on let's do it on a Sunday, see how it goes. And then go from there.
So why Sunday? I'm just, because I was just asking.
Because Sunday's a less busy day in the store.
There's a less busy day in the store, and then some people have to work on Saturday that can't be here on
Okay,
Saturday.
okay. So are we looking at October 1st then?
Or the
Or
24th.
we've got the 17th, the 24th.
I'm gonna
If we
suggest,
did it the 17th, we could also do the test setup that I want to do for Maven. We'd have enough hands here to do that once.
yeah, but we could do it the 17th. I have pantry that morning, but I'll be here that day anyway, so.
Do we wanna set it for like noon?
We set it for noon, if that's what we wanna do, or. What works for all of you guys? I'm here already, so it doesn't matter to me.
And I'm gonna be here all day.
Right,
We would need to be wrapped up early enough so that those of us involved with the seminaries Maven
Yes,
have time to ground and prepare.
relax a little bit.
so we could, we call it at 5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, like 5 would be a
Which
good
actually
time.
means I won't get the test that I wanted for the canopy. Maybe I'll do that Saturday night.
Why wouldn't you?
I wanted to test lighting, so I
Oh,
wanted to set it up at sunset with the projector
I got
and, just set a couple of things inside it and see what that shrine's gonna look like on the
Mhm.
inside.
I got you.
Before we get there, so we know exactly what we need.
I mean, you still might be able to.
No, because
It'd be
Not
kind of
anybody
close because
for
we have
David,
we have
because
cast call at
at
8, and then I would like to have plenty of time to
get food,
relax, get food, get myself ready, prepared
Megan's
for
got
the
it,
event.
yeah,
Yeah,
so let's say we call it at 5 o'clock.
let's say 5.
We'll do a noon to 5 workday.
Okay,
It's 5 hours. We get, if we're all up here not fiddle farting around, we can get a lot done
Mhm.
in 5 hours.
and the goal for this is gonna be to reorganize both storerooms, to move the vending machines and dismantle the conference table
Clean the stairwell too.
and the stairwell.
So all right,
Dismantle this conference table will be the last goal.
so wait, have we officially decided we're dismantling the conference table? Is that a thing?
I don't think we've made an official agreement on that, official decision on that, but I can tell you, let's see what the next couple of weeks look like on a Wednesday. And we can make that.
I think it's coming.
I think it is coming,
Yep.
honestly.
And it may mean as well that these chairs we love might need to go into storage. We
Yep.
could keep a handful of them out for reader chairs, but they're not gonna work well in an open space.
No, I agree.
So
They're about
all
half
of
the problem
this-
with this whole setup anyway, honestly. They're wonderful, but they're about half the problem because
Yeah.
They take up room and.
that's why these feel claustrophobic and nobody wants to sit back here.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna tell you, if we need to put them in storage. So that we don't have to run a storage unit. I have an empty room at my house now. They can go down there and be locked up and away from the cats and everybody.
okay.
And there's no raccoons.
And there's no raccoon,
Just spiders.
just spiders.
The raccoons actually rolled a whole roll of the insulation that Dad had in the attic down the attic stairs and busted open the door, so now they have access to downstairs.
Yeah, if we
I'm
could-
not surprised.
If we could get the place kind of storage all figured out where we could at least keep like 3 or 4 of these chairs around, that'd be great.
Well, I'm thinking, I've got one in the store and we could keep one in each of the tarot rooms.
Mhm.
And we could put one in pantry.
Yeah, because pantry doesn't have a chair right now.
And then we could just borrow those. If
And
we
if
just
we
really want
really
to sit
just
well.
gotta sit in one, we can, yeah, we can borrow one.
I'm okay with
Maybe we keep 1 or 2 in here in the corners like those wingbacks
Mhm.
that we had at the old place. As reading chairs.
that. How many of these kinds of chairs do we have? Just like the 1, 2, 3,
Like maybe a
4,
handful.
5.
There's a whole stack in the social.
No, the blue
The
one.
blue ones.
I think we have maybe
So-
half.
Those are the next comfy chairs, right?
We have a dozen bucket chairs and we have half a dozen of the white folding chairs.
We have, I think, a half dozen of those blue chairs, and there's more folding chairs over here in the corner if we need them.
Those are last resort. folding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those the white, like real flimsy ones.
No, those are the last resort. These I would use before the.
These are like the metal ones that
Oh,
came from
okay.
another church that went out.
So, okay, so that's just something to keep in mind as we remove some of these chairs. That means we'll be utilizing
Well,
those more.
Yeah, we'll be utilizing those more and, we might down the road, look at what we could do about upgrading the chair situation, but for the time being, we need to find a balance
Hmm.
between wanting to have all of the things and do all the things and be all the things and that long-term goal. There's been a lot of resources that have gone into this expansion and that's good. That's important. That's allowing us to reach more people and to expand our network. I think we need to shift that focus a little bit away from, we've talked about decluttering this space as part of what the workday is for. And getting that focus back on the fundraising and getting the development started and all of that stuff. So,
If we're losing access to the table, I think we need to have like a stack of clipboards available.
That's a good
clipboards would be
idea.
good.
The
may
Dollar
need
Tree
to-
ones aren't that bad to use either.
We may want to invest in some more folding tables, different kinds.
Like the half width ones.
No, I was actually thinking something a little more something between the $30 cheap ones that we've got and, $200 expenses. So something middling that can still be flexible. I don't know.
We
Not
can look at
concerned
it.
about it right now.
Well, and I think we should probably, we're talking about scheduling work day. I think we should probably do this regularly, even if once we're done with all this stuff, because we need to catch up on the Patreon stuff. I would like to be able to sit here and work on that kind of
I
stuff.
think we are caught up
Oh, are
on
we?
Patreon
Okay.
stuff as of
Okay.
the first of this month.
But general stuff
Because
like
we
that,
took the video down.
even,
We stopped offering that as a perk.
oh, that's right,
The
okay.
monthly.
Yeah,
retro.
That was
Oh,
the big thing
Yeah,
that.
that was catching everybody up.
Yeah,
And another thing that would help with too is making sure we keep the space clean.
But yes, having a
Yeah.
regular monthly day where we
So
all come
what
in
if
and we do a bunch
we
of
Set up
whatever
the
maintenance
third
work.
Sunday of the month as a work day.
Standard work day, third Sunday of the month is our Green Man Day to help do the things that we need to do in here. If it's nice and we need
if
to do.
it's nice and we have stuff at the property,
We
it
can
can be
go-
out there.
Right,
Y'all can be clearing underbrush, mowing the lawn, doing whatever needs doing out there on those days too.
that worked for everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, the third Sunday of next month is Liam's birthday.
Yeah, he's in the UP anyway.
But, and
God,
those of
yeah,
us,
yeah.
if we can't come because work or whatever, we can't come, but if we have
Yeah.
it set up every month, we at least get most of us here to do some work. Okay.
So that
And we
we're,
can make that as an open event for
Yes.
church members to volunteer for.
because we got some really cool things that we can do with the storage boxes now too, and make it
Yep.
where we can do what we want to do. And make it where this is the ritual box and
Mhm.
we know what goes in it. This is the Maybach box, and we know what goes in it.
I could see having two of these chairs right there
Mhm.
with a coffee table in between. And then the futon over here where the vending machines have been.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes our like sitting area when we're not
We have a
doing
futon.
things.
So the,
Not yet, we're talking
what
about.
style of
in here.
futon do you want? I have 3. I have the traditional Japanese style. I've got the metal frame style. And I've got the one that you gave me way back when. It's still just stored in my basement.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it. It's down the road.
Down the road, down the road.
And honestly, for your coffee table, we take the table to the center of the fucking store and put it in here. Right there, where you walk in, that you walk into,
That might be, that might work.
that big heavy
Uh-huh.
son of a bitch.
Okay,
All right,
I like it.
what else is on your
Or
agenda?
one of the square.
There was
ones
one
like that.
final item, and it is the legal stuff to be able to watch Disney films potentially.
Yeah, so
Indeed.
I looked up that one first because I know like Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, those are both Disney movies that we would consider. So the link I posted is the company that does all the Disney licensing
Where
for
did you post that?
in the Weavers chat.
Weaver's Board Chat.
Are you sure?
Is it our little group chat or like the chat, like that
Um,
weird new thing that Microsoft's doing? Or Microsoft,
It's the one
Facebook?
just labeled Weavers
Messenger,
Okay,
Messenger.
movies for religious organizations.
okay,
That's
perfect,
that's the category we fall under.
okay.
So like the process is you request. You have to request the quotes and stuff.
So would we be paying per movie?
I'm not sure. They don't give you
They don't give
any.
you any, so somebody just needs to call them and
Yeah,
find out.
somebody needs to go through the contact info on the link.
I would like it if we found other links as well, because just the fact that there's no prices here and call us for a quote and request
This-
forms really is getting my hackles up.
This contact is direct from Disney. So when you
Oh.
go to Disney and you research how to legally show Disney, this is the link you get direct from Disney.
Okay. Does this company just do Disney or do they have other stuff?
I am not sure.
Cause I know, so I know for music, there's a general license that a lot of churches can get that would allow them to play music
Right.
in their facility, in their.
Music's
building.
a totally
But-
different thing
but,
from the
well,
visual.
All I'm saying is there something similar for movies? Even remotely,
You have to go through that company,
and there's no other option, basically?
not for Disney. Other production companies may have other, oh, what was the freaking name of it? Oh. It's a licensing brokerage. Okay, so I Googled, how can a church have a movie night? So there's a church video license company, but they only do Christian movies.
Yeah, that's not what we want.
No, so you have to purchase a movie night or a movie license from the production companies. Overseeing thing, like Swank does the Disney films. Trying to,
I
So,
wonder if a search for nonprofits might provide more relevant results, because when we say religious and church, it automatically goes to Christian
so
stuff.
it does, however, for legal entity purposes, we have the same status as a Christian church.
yes.
Right, but the resources, so for example, scary movies and Halloween movies and stuff would be a huge regular thing here.
Mhm.
I don't know that they're something this company does. I don't know that any company that bills itself as doing religious stuff is going to include all of the movies that
But
we
it's
want to
not
watch.
just, Swank is not just. Hold on.
That's why I was saying it.
That is just the link for the specific
Disney movie.
Disney or, okay, so the markets we serve, college campuses, parks and recs, K-12 schools, patient entertainment, cruise ships, businesses, public libraries,
Okay.
performing arts, correctional institutions.
Okay.
I picked the link that our church falls
Mhm.
under as a legal entity. So
Yeah,
this company does way more. It's not just the church group. Like they've got for on their screen flash.
So I know this, they mention, so how to avoid a copyright violation at Christian movie night, which obviously wouldn't directly apply, but first potentially applicable exemption to copyright protection is known as the classroom use exemption. I don't think we'd fall into that because we're not teaching with scary movies, obviously. However, the second potentially applicable exemption to copyright protection is called the religious service exemption. It allows the copyrighted work in course of services at a place of worship or religious assembly. And then it mentions the US legal code, no?
I've already been through that one
Okay.
with Bella on music. It has to be in ritual. If it is not in
Okay.
ritual,
Okay.
it does not count as in service.
It's silly, but hey, let's cast circle and watch a scary movie.
Right, that's what I was thinking, hocus pocus.
It's ritual.
I mean, that would expose us,
Yes, it would. No,
would
it
expose us.
would. No, that
but
would definitely give
that's
us serious
pushing
risk.
it for no good reason.
No, that's
Yeah.
absolutely fair.
So
I'll have people over my house first.
yeah, the link I shared is just that company's link, and they do all of them. So it's not just relegating us to Christian movies. It's opening up the movies that are available through Disney ownership.
Yeah.
And if there's, I figured we could start with that
Yeah.
because like people are gonna want to watch Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas and the Halloweeny type movies.
So that's another potential action item, is to contact. What?
I sneezed.
It's,
Excuse
That sounded like a bullshit sneeze to me.
I think I heard horse shit, but
I always say horse shit when I sneeze.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing
very
to do
different.
I was gonna say, oh, bullshit.
A bullshit.
No.
Sounds like
I don't
bullshit.
worry about getting on Spotify or YouTube or anywhere that we find it and using media in ritual.
Yeah.
Outside of ritual that we have to pay attention.
You know, and the kicker is I've been to churches that did plenty of the stuff in church without having a service involved.
So
So frustrating.
it's kind of like speeding or
Mhm.
parking poorly or building your own back deck or your tree house or whatever, right? Most of us don't go through our lives asking permission for everything in the sun that we want to do. We just do it. And, you know, we drive fast and sometimes we get pulled over. And, you know, the thing is that there are so many rules out there and so many laws. And selective enforcement is a thing. And, you know, Lansing is such a nice place. We don't encounter that very much as white people in Lansing.
Change your skin tone, change your melanin tone.
But as pagans, we are about to. And they may not want us. We've already had somebody who is in charge of some things that we need to get through, making it clear she doesn't want us here.
Mhm.
Anybody who doesn't want us in town will look for reasons to
Yeah.
take us down. So we don't want to give anybody any fodder. No openings.
I mean, that wasn't the whole reason we wanted transparency, but it sure as hell became really important.
Through that.
Okay, so I just found something MPLC, the music, what was that? What was that again? Movies and TV entertainment or something that's licensing company, movies, something licensing company. I forgot the name of it. Motion Picture Licensing Corporation. That is something that I went to their website, talks about having
What was that, Albert?
Clearing my throat. Sorry, I'm down in the basement and it's not going well.
So let's see here, private use only and requires license. So a license when shown in public. So there's a thing about a license shown in public. The problem is, how do we get that license? So
what you have to do is decide what movie you want to do, look and see who owns that movie. And find out which company they use to take care of their licensing. Like Disney licenses through Swank and only through Swank. So no other way are you going to get proper licensing to watch anything owned by Disney except through Swank. So that's why I only picked the one, because until we know what movie and who made it and who owns it, we can't go further to find licenses.
Sounds like the thing to do might be to take the list of possible movies and then go to these companies and start asking for quotes. So
Yep.
that's a project for.
and I was
needs to
just
be done
looking on this one, and
before we can
I
do
just gotta
anything.
point out, this is really stupid, and it has church as one category and mosques, temples, and synagogues as a separate category.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
I'm like,
Wait, what?
but they're the same thing.
If we're the same thing as a church, they're the same thing.
And like I said, I
No.
found
So-
Swank directly through the Disney website.
Right.
So it says here, churches are licensed through MPLC partner Christian Video Licensing International. So let's.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna work out well.
So let's look for, okay, so now if I select mosques, temples, and synagogues,
What is it?
I get a list of options to fill out the information and ask for a quote. So basically, if you're a Christian, you have to go through their Christian.
Right.
So we might be able to apply for one under the temple option, but
But
Like,
there's
we
na-
need a list of movies first.
we're, yeah, that's fine. So,
that Christians are safely segregated from us when it comes to licensing movies.
well, this it's to protect
All right,
and all their
and
persecution.
protecting the
It's protecting
children.
it is 8:35.
Yep, do we have any other pressing business this month?
Um,
We've kind of gone on long with little things anyway.
I know people have to get to class, so
Anybody?
see if there's anything else on the, was this the last thing for the agenda?
Yes.
What we got, what's that comment there in the,
Looks like it's conference tables.
Lifetime products. Oh, it's a folding conference table.
It was a set of folding conference tables that that you can arrange in the little classroom setup. You could do the, square them out for a conference room.
Can you send me that link or drop it in the board chat, please, Alfred?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I seen something, that's why I asked.
All right. Motion to adjourn,
Second.
in favor?
Uh,
Bye.
do you have a checkbook here for the church?
Yeah,
I will write out a check for $100 to the school,
all right.
because it would look really weird if you signed that.
I guess we are done,
Yes.
so we can shut down the stream and the thing.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Alfred.